Okay, so for creating Raml file, like we don't create in Anypoint Studio. Okay, Raml file we create directly on Anypoint platform. So in Anypoint platform, go to this line and go to Design Center. So in this Design Center, you will able to create Raml. So you can see here, I have already created few Raml. So you will able to see all these Raml here. Okay, so a Raml part we do create inside the Design Center. How to create new Raml file? So you can see we have this create option. Okay, so click on this create option. So here you need to give Raml file name. So generally we give this name based on the use case. Okay, so let's say here you can see some example. I developed a Raml file related to customer experience API. So customer XP API Raml. So at this moment, maybe few people don't know about what is XP API, what is system API. So we will discuss soon about the experience API and all. Generally, we used to give some logical name here. So at this moment, last time we had discussion for one use case. Let me open that one. Okay, use case we haven't created. So let me create one use case. Create Raml file. Create Raml file for customer API. Okay, first one. Create customer. Okay. Create customer. A will be okay. Now to create customer, we will divide it into three parts. Okay. So first part will be okay. So to create customer part, we will first create Raml file to create customer. Okay. So first part will be resource detail. Okay. Last time we discussed. First thing we should know resource detail. Can anyone tell me what will be resource name here?
Customers.
So it will be customers. Okay. Now can anyone tell me what will be method name? Method here.
Post.
Sorry.
Post.
Create customer.
Yeah,
Post.
Post method.
The method will be post. So resource part we are good. Now coming to request part. In request part, like we will have request as a header, query param, body for payload. Okay. Now coming to header part. In header, we will pass one header that will be transaction ID. Data type will be string. It will be required true, mandatory field. Okay. So only one header we will pass at this moment, that will be transaction ID. Query parameter. Query parameter, we do pass. Query parameter, we do pass for filter condition. Okay. And for this post method, generally most of the time, like 99% time, query parameter will be with get method. Okay, when you are retrieving information, at that time you will have query parameter. So here for post, it will be not applicable. Just give me 1 minute. URI parameter. So this can be possible. So we will pass customer ID. Okay. Or whenever we will pass some other unique identifier, then we will pass URI parameter. But at this moment, we don't need URI parameter. So we will make it not applicable. Now body. In body, what all things we will pass? So we will pass first customer ID. Since we are going to insert customer ID, that's why we are passing inside the body. Okay. So first we will have customer ID. This will be of type, data type as a string, required true, mandatory. Then name, email, mobile, address. Okay. This address I will keep, or let's keep this email address as optional. Okay. Other things I am keeping as a mandatory, but only this will be optional. Okay. Mobile number also I am taking as a number. Data type will be number. Now what will be next thing? Response. So in response, we will pass two things. One is status message. Okay, so status will be like 200, 500, something like that. So this will be number and mandatory. And message will be string mandatory. So this is our API detail. We have now all the detail. Okay, last thing is pending. Underlying data type. Okay, so both request and response is of type application JSON. It's of type application JSON. So now we have all the detail. We have resource detail, we have request detail, we have response detail, and we have data type. Now you will say, who will provide all this thing to you? So whenever requirement will come, all these things should be very clear. Otherwise, you will not able to create Raml, you will not able to create development. So generally, who collect this requirement? It can be architect, it can be you also. So whoever will be responsible to collect the requirement, that person should be responsible to identify all this detail. Okay, project to project, it will vary. In few project, you will be responsible as a developer to collect all these requirements. And few project, your architect who is doing this requirement gathering or your team lead, they will be responsible to collect all this detail. So that depends on project role and responsibility. Now to create Raml for this API, what we will do? First, here we will need to give name. So this is related to customer. So at this moment, it's not related to any SAPI, BAPI or XP API. Let's make it generic. So only I will give customer Raml. Okay, Raml version. So currently in market, latest version is 2.0, but Anypoint platform doesn't support 2.0. So here we will use 1.0. It will support 0.8 also, but we are going to use what latest version Anypoint platform support, that is 1.0. Apart of that, you can see there are some OAS version also. So maybe if any of you have like involved in this thing like from prior time, like means you are from a different technology and all, maybe you have heard about this Swagger file. Okay, this OS is nothing but it's a Swagger file. Okay, similar to Raml file, Swagger file also tells the behavior of the API. Okay, so how Raml file describe the API, same way Swagger also describe the API. Only thing will be different there, syntax. Okay, for Raml we will have different syntax. For Swagger we will have different syntax. Okay, so as a most of the client will use Raml file only. So focus on Raml only. Very rarely you will get client who are using Swagger. Okay, so for that I will give you one workaround. Okay, you can create Raml file and you can generate the Swagger. Okay, so that thing I will tell you later, but for now focus on Raml. Then guide me through it. Just leave it. No need to check this and click on create. So by default, you will get these two files. One is Raml version and another one is title. Okay, and here you can see there is one up arrow. Okay, click on this up arrow. So you will get lots of suggestion here. Okay, whenever you will move your cursor at particular place, it will give you suggestion what all things you can keep there. So whenever we create Raml, so we should give some kind of documentation. Okay, documentation is using this documentation or description. Anything is fine. So description I'm giving. this Raml file will explain behavior of customer. Okay. So this kind of description you can give. Okay. Now, next thing, we need to define the resource. So here, our resource name is customers. Okay. So what I will do here, I will define resource customers. Okay. Whenever we define any resource, you need to put forward slash here. Okay. So once you will define the resource, you need to put one semicolon. Okay. So slash customer will be our resource name. Then once you will define the resource name, you need to click enter. Okay. When you will click on enter, it will take you directly on proper place. Okay. You can see there is one tab in between. It's not taking you at the very beginning. It's taking after one tab. Okay. If you want to see, let me go back and let me click tab. So we are on this position. So automatically they will, whatever you will define, just click enter. It will take you on correct place where next component should be defined. Okay. So it took me on right place. Now, second thing, what we need to do here for this resource, I need to define method. Okay. So what will be method here? Post method. So here we will use post method. Okay. Once you will click, automatically it will take you on right place. Now here in this post method, we need to define request. Resource part we completed. Now we will work on request part. Okay. In request part here, when you want to define the request, so first request will be header. So you can see here in suggestion, it's coming here. So click on this. Now what is the header name? So these are the standard header. Okay. These are the standard header. But at this moment, we will use our own header. So that is transaction ID. If standard header are here, you can take from this place. Or if not, then you can define your own. Only forward slash will be required for resource name, not for other. You can see. So we have this transaction ID. Click enter. Okay. Now for transaction ID, we have some detail. It's of type string. And it's mandatory. Okay. If you want to define anything as a okay. Okay, one more thing. By default, if you define any field, that will be mandatory. If you will not more detail, then by default it will be mandatory. But if you want to make it more clear for everyone, then you need to do here. You can see required. Click on required, and you can see true and false. False means optional. True means mandatory. So required true means it's mandatory now. Then click enter. Okay. Now what next we have? Header transaction ID. It's a string data type. Okay. So type next will be type. Okay. You can type by yourself or you can just search here. Type will be string. So we define transaction ID. Transaction ID. Data type is string and field is mandatory. Field is mandatory, required true. Data type is string. And we can give example also. Something like this. We have transaction ID. Okay. So we are done with the header. Now Header part is done. We don't have query parameter. We don't have URI parameter. We'll define body. Okay. So this header, query parameter, URI parameter, body, response, all this will be on same level. Okay. All this will be on same level. One tab after the post. One tab after the post. You can see here. Post is here. There is one tab difference between header and post. Same way, if we want to define body, request body. So you can see here, post is starting here, and there is one tab difference between that. Okay. Now we are going to define this body, and this is of type JSON. This body will be type of application JSON. So here we will select application JSON. Okay. And then we will define this structure. So here we will define the type. Okay, can anyone confirm am I audible or not? I lost my Wi-Fi connection.
Sir, audible.
But now I'm back. Okay, fine. So we were discussing about the payload. Okay, so to make it more clear, what I will do, I will create one sample payload. So we have this customer ID. So this is the sample payload for this particular. As I mentioned, data type is JSON. So this is this JSON payload. So you can see here, whenever we define JSON payload, everything will be wrapped inside curly braces. Means this is part of one object. Okay, this is one JSON object. So its parent will be object. So here type parent will be object. Okay. And whenever we define any object, So this object has many child element. Okay. So this child element, will be its property. Okay. So whenever we define object, we need to define property. Okay. So what all property it has? It has 5 property. Customer ID, okay. So first property is customer ID. How we define all these things for transaction ID? Same way we need to define for this also. Okay. So what all things are here? Customer ID, string and mandatory. Required, true. Mandatory means required true. String data type. So type will be string. Okay. And we can define example also. Example will be customer ID. No? So let me know till this point if anyone has any doubt. Okay. So next we have name. Required will be true. Type will be string. Okay. So customer ID, name is done. Then we have, so email, you can see it's optional field. Okay. So what will be here required as a, this one is optional, so required will be false. Type will be string. Example will be okay. So customer ID, name, email. Customer ID, name, email. Next we have mobile. Mobile is required true. Instead of typing all this thing, you can get from suggestion also. Okay, suggestion will take some time. So required true, then type string, then example. Okay, mobile is also done. Last we have address.
Yeah, hi Ravi.
Yes, tell me.
In this mobile, you have mentioned type as string. It could be number also, right?
Okay, yeah, mobile we decided number only, correct. So here you can see we have number. If you are deciding number, then you have to remove this double inverted comma. Okay. So double invert, if you put anything in double inverted comma means that is string. Okay.
Okay.
Or in the mobile, can we give minimum and maximum?
What you want to give?
No, in the mobile number, like we can give minimum and maximum. Like if I compulsory I want to type 10 members, 10 numbers.
Yes, all this pattern and everything we will come later. Okay, at this moment I'm not going for any advanced concept. We are creating very simple Raml file.
Okay.
Okay, pattern and everything will come later. Address will be again required to. And type will be string. Example. So you can take from here also, or you can type also. Example. So we are done with the request body. Okay. Now we will define the response body. So what I will do, let's minimize this. Minimize this. So response body, we will start from here. Okay. So you can see here responses is there. Click on this. So in responses, you can see there are too many responses. Okay. But we are going to create resource. So what will be our response? If we are going to create
201.
So
201.
201. Okay. So now, okay, let me explain everyone what all this response code we have. So we have 100, 101, 102, 200, 201 like that. We have many. Let me discuss few important one. 200 means successful. When you are retrieving any information, you are retrieving customer detail, and you are sending success response, then we will send 200. 201, when you are creating customer detail, means you are creating the resource and resource creation is successful. You are sending success response, then we will send 201. Then we have 400 reach. 400 we will send when we have bad request in our request. Let's say, as per this documentation, this name should be string. But if someone will pass name as a number, or mobile number should be number, if someone will pass mobile as a name, mobile as a string, then what will happen? We are sending bad data. Okay, if we are sending bad data, means bad request, then we will get this error message 400. 401, if someone is calling our API, but they are not a valid user, authorized user, then we will send 401. So as for resource not found 404, 500 error like that, we have many error code. Okay, so you should know like 5-6 error code. Whenever they will ask in interview, you should be able to explain 5-6. That should be enough. Just go on Google and just see the meaning of each. Okay. Now response. So we are going to create here 201. Okay. So in body part, see, we started body with application JSON, but when we start the response body, we start with the status code, and then we start body, and then same application JSON, and then same type. Okay. From here part pattern will be same. These two things will be additional in case of response. Now you can see same pattern, body, application JSON, type and all. So body, application JSON, type. So type will be again object. Okay. So we have type object. And then response to 100 body application type. Then we will have properties. We'll have similar thing. So what I can do, let me do copy paste to make it faster. So I will do copy these two. I will paste it here. And then I need to do proper indentation. Okay, select all this, click on tab. Okay, shift tab will take you on back tab. Okay, and only tab will put you forward. Okay, keep in mind that will help you a lot in Raml. In while doing copy paste, shift tab means back tab, and single tab means forward tab. Okay. So application type JSON, type object, properties. Now we have here two properties. One is status. Second, message. Required true, type string. Okay, status is number. Status is number. Okay, and message will be okay. So we are done with this Raml file. Let me know if anyone has any doubt on this part.
In this one part, we don't need to define the example.
Example we given this.
Okay.
Whatever you can see here, okay, all these are known as data type. Okay. We are defining the data type of the our request payload. Here we are defining data type of our response payload. Okay, so these two are known as data type. Data type. I will show you in detail how it works. And now, if you want to see this Raml, so here in left hand side you can see customer post method is there. Click on this. Click on try it, and then see we have created one header transaction ID. Content type came automatically. Okay, since we have request payload of JSON type, so it came automatically. So this is our request payload. Customer ID, name, email, automatically it got created. And click on send. So we are testing our Raml. So we got success response. So everything is fine. Okay, so now what you need to do by following this video, you need to create same Raml file, and I will give you one assignment also. So you need to work on that assignment also. So this Raml file, what you learned today, and at the same time, one more Raml file, what I will give you in assignment that you need to complete. Okay, if everyone clear. So first, I'm sending this notepad. Everyone work on this. If you want this video, let me upload. I think this part definitely you will need help from this video. So let me upload now only. Let me stop the video and let me upload this.